So something is happening right now that is really going to disrupt the entire US economy. However, you're actually being deceived, and in many cases, you're being lied to. Now today I want to address where these lies are coming from, why we're hearing these lies and this deception at this time, but what this means moving forward. Now, I want to be very clear on one thing. This has to do with the Federal Reserve allowing Freddie Mac, a government agency, to come in and start buying second mortgages. They're getting into the second mortgage market. However, this does not only impact those with a mortgage. This will impact the entire economy. So I want to break down what's going on and why you should be concerned moving forward. So, I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So I also want to ask you one other question. If you are a homeowner or a renter, write in the comment section below and let me know either homeowner and how many houses you have, or if you are a renter, write homeowner or renter. Now, the reason for that is because both are going to be impacted. Here's what's happening. So just on Friday, the US approved the Freddie Mac pilot program to buy second mortgages. Now, I talked about this just the other day, how this is going to bring in a massive amount of stimulus. But here's what you need to understand. U.S. households have $32 trillion in real estate equity. However, Freddie Mac does not get approved for $32 trillion. Instead, they only got approved to loan out $2.5 billion. Now, here's where things get really interesting. According to the statement that Freddie Mac put out, they're only allowed to offer up to $78,000. It's $78,277. That's the amount they can loan out per household, which means at $2.5 billion, they can only provide 31,937 loans. That's not going to impact the entire economy. But here's what will. According to the statements from the FHFA, they are saying that they are going to analyze all the data as soon as Freddie Mac runs out of money to loan out. So this could be, according to experts, within the next 90 days. They are saying Freddie Mac will be out of money. Okay, so we're going to know within the next 90 days whether or not this program will get extended or it gets expanded, right? We will know. Guess what? According to experts, and I said this just the other day, that my expectation is they are going to 10x this program. It will go from $2.5 billion to $25 billion almost instantly. This means we will not see just 31,000 people be able to get this. We'll actually see about 319,000 people be able to get some of this money, up to $78,000. Now, why did I say you're being deceived? Why did I say you're being lied to? Well, it's because of how they break this down. One of the reasons and one of the questions that somebody asked me just the other day is, why would the federal government decide to do something like this now? Why didn't they do it, last year? Or why don't they just wait for interest rates to come down? Well, it's because in a matter of 4 months, 5 months, we have an election. So we're almost in July. We got July, August, September, October. On November 5th, 2024, we have a very important election. This, according to some, could be the biggest election we have ever faced here in the United States. Now, if the Biden administration comes out and they campaign on the fact that the economy is booming and everybody's doing just fine, credit cards are being paid off, cars aren't being repossessed, everything is just perfect. Well, maybe they get more votes. But how do they swing that? Well, it's simple. Right now, credit cards are going unpaid. The 30, 60, and 90-day delinquencies are on the rise. We are seeing repossessions of automobiles those are rising as well. Foreclosures are actually ticking up on real estate as well. However, they're still quite a bit down from the pre-pandemic levels. So here's what you need to understand. What happens when you take your equity in a mortgage in your home and you pull that money out? Well, essentially you're taking out more debt, okay? But when you pull that debt out and then you take that debt and you pay off your car loan and your credit cards and your medical bills and your student loans, right? You pay off all those things. Guess what? You're transferring your debt from your home, or essentially your credit cards and your car loan and all that stuff, you're transferring it from that to now you're putting that debt on your home. Here's where it makes sense, and this is where it's beneficial. If you have a credit card that you're paying 22% interest on, well, it looks good when now you're only paying 7 to 8% for this second mortgage. Same thing goes for a car loan. When you're paying 12 to 15%, now you're only paying 7 to 8% interest on your second mortgage, right? That's really good, right? Well, this is where you are getting deceived. When you go and get a second loan, and this is why some are saying this could be the biggest mistake people make, is you go and get a second mortgage. You have to pay fees, okay? You're paying for points in some cases, right? Or, again, you're paying front-loaded interest. It's a mortgage. It's not simple interest here, okay? It's front-loaded interest. You're paying the interest payment on that loan for years. I don't even know how long it would be, but you will be paying front-loaded interest. So every single payment you make, the majority of that payment goes to interest alone, not even paying off the balance of that second mortgage. Here's the other thing. You go to the bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, doesn't matter. Go to that bank and they talk you into a second mortgage. Well, why would they do that? Because now they're getting paid every single month just to service that loan. And guess what? They're probably going to sell it to Freddie Mac. You come to them and then they're going to sell it to Freddie Mac. Now, I want to read a comment that somebody left me. They left me this just yesterday. They say, I need this so bad. At the end of the month, I'm holding on to less than $40. That is all that I have left after I pay my bills. So I'm one disaster away from not being able to afford my bills. Can you tell us as soon as this program is out? Well, guess what? This program is out. Secondary mortgages have always been around. This isn't something that's new. The only thing that's new is now the banks are going to sell these loans to Freddie Mac. And they're going to do these quickly. The banks are going to try to get out of their secondary mortgages as fast as possible because, again, they were still going to make some money. But this is where things are getting interesting. I want to show you this. Let's say you have $78,000 in loans, right? Car payment, credit cards. We'll just stick to those two, car payment and credit cards. Let's say your car payment's $50,000. You're probably paying for a $50,000 car payment. My guess is you're going to be paying $800 a month, $700 a month. Okay, so let's just say $700 a month. And for the other $28,000 for credit cards, let's say you're paying an extra, $400. So let's say $700, $400, $1,100 a month is what you're paying for your car payment and your credit card. Well, look at this. This right here, if you get the maximum amount, and this is $78,277, there's no down payment, okay? It's a 30-year loan, interest rate 7.5%, okay? There's no property taxes, no homeowners insurance, no PMI, no HOA fees, okay? None of that. Your payment every single month, principal and interest, is $550, roughly. Well, remember, we just said all those things, your car payment and your credit cards, come up to about $1,100. So this right here saves you $550. This is roughly half of what you would pay. But again, keep in mind, this is over the life of the loan. So this is over 30 years. The car payment might only be for an extra 3 or 4 years. The credit card, maybe it's only for 8 years. Okay, maybe you're making minimum payments. So the interest on this is going to far outweigh what you would pay elsewhere. But again, it looks good. because again, your payment's coming down. Now you can take some of that savings, you can put it into a new car. You can take some of that money and put it into something like a renovation for your home, a vacation. Right? You can do all those things. But again, why are our lawmakers allowing this to happen? Why is the Biden administration okay with this? It's simple. It's going to give consumers more spending power going into the next election, which again, we're 5 months away from. That's the reason why. This is likely going to boost the economy. This is likely, if it gets expanded and 10 or 100 times its current size to maybe $25 billion or $250 billion, okay? If it does get expanded and it's bigger in size, the thing that's going to happen is we're going to see additional inflation. But we might not see that until January, February, March of next year, which by then the election's over. Potentially Biden wins, maybe Trump wins. We don't know. But that's the thing you need to understand. And this is the problem that I have with this program. And the reason why I brought it up to you the other day is it's going to create a massive amount of stimulus. But in the end, it's going to be more expensive to get a secondary mortgage than it would be just to hold on to the current loans that you have and pay them off. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. The one thing I can tell you is we're going to see more and more discussions on this. There's a lot of people that are already speculating that this is going to completely ruin the economy, but some say this is going to be the best thing. Keep in mind, who is saying what? Because, again, we have an election in 4 to 5 months. So we'll see what happens moving forward. The one thing I can promise you is I will be here every step of the way, and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.